I've had the good fortune to spend some time with Dave Stewart. Number 34, retired by the Oakland A's based on 4 consecutive 20-win seasons. 1989 World Series MVP, pitched a no-hitter in 1990 against the Toronto Blue Jays, and of course 2 ALCS MVP awards in 1990 and 1993. So you've had a remarkable career. This is a remarkable event out here at the National Sports Collectors Convention. You were able to spend a couple minutes on the floor. We got to go by Heritage Auctions and see Babe Ruth's jersey and some other things. What are your first thoughts when you see something like this and have a chance to take in a bit of the history of the game and some of the memorabilia?
Well, it's always eye-opening events similar to this, because the attraction are the athletes that you are able to bring to these events. And so, when you walk in, you really don't know what to expect. If anybody said they knew what to expect when they came here, I don't think that they're telling the truth, because you can't imagine, there's a Robin Yount in one side of it, and there's a Ricky Henderson on another side, and there could be, there could be a Michael Jordan here. The magnitude of athletes that come to these events, you never get an opportunity to see them in the same space, and that in itself is eye-opening. It's surprising, and it's just unbelievable.
While it's fresh, what's something you saw on the floor that might have caught your eye, or given the history and your history in the game, something that you thought, wow, that's pretty neat?
Well, seeing a Babe Ruth jersey, that was a jersey that he pointed, he was going to hit the home run. I mean, that in itself was, I don't even have the words to express it, big fan of baseball. I love baseball. I can't say I'm an historian of baseball, but everybody knows about Babe Ruth pointing and then hitting the home run and the story behind that. And then to actually be standing in front of the jersey that he wore when he hit that home run, it kind of makes the room silent, if you know what I mean. That was the most amazing thing that I saw. Then the second thing was a 42-ounce bat by Shoeless Joe Jackson. I mean, try swinging 42 ounces today, and hitting 400. Just things that I would never imagine seeing, and I wouldn't have seen in my everyday life if I wasn't here.
It's pretty remarkable, the collection here. It's almost like the world's largest sports and entertainment museum that just pops up for a couple days. Did you collect anything growing up? Were you a fan of the game?
I was a fan of the game, but I was not a collector. People will slap me upside my head 1,000 times. When I tell the story that I met Willie Mays when I was a 7-year-old kid, and it was bat day at the Giants at Candlestick Park at that time, and we waited to get his autograph, and he signed a bat for me from bat day. And people say, well, do you still have that bat? Man, I brought that bat out probably 2 weeks after that and was playing baseball in the street with my friends. So I'm not a collector, for that matter. I'm not even a picture taker, but I am a fan of the game. When I talk to people about baseball and my love for the game, I'm 51 years in baseball in some shape, form, or fashion. So I am a fan. I am in love with the sport, a participant in the sport, but I've never been a collector.
Certainly collected some of your own items, some MVP awards, some World Series along the way. We're here in Cleveland. I'll ask you, do you have any specific memories of coming back to Cleveland, things that stick out, ball games?
The only thing
plays?
I remember about Cleveland, which is not the only thing, but it's the most memorable thing about playing in Cleveland, is the big stadium, which was probably 70 or 80,000 seats, and hearing that drum beat through the whole game. I remember that like it was yesterday. It was a huge stadium, but if you had 20,000 fans in the seats, it still felt like 500 because the stadium was so big. But that drummer is the most memorable piece of history and coming into the city and playing. It's the most memorable piece for me. And they had some good guys. I mean, Andre Thornton was a part of the teams that I pitched against. I believe that Toby Harrell was here one year when I played here. Buddy Bell was before me getting here, but Andy Thornton and the gentle giant is what you would call him. I mean, he was a big man in the middle of their lineup that just created damage. I mean, absolute damage. And, you know, when you want to talk about the maybe not so good things, but still a good thing, Mel Hall played here, and Mel was an absolute nut, you know. Albert Bell, you know, I remember Buddy Black pitching here. So
Joe
a lot
Carter,
of things.
Tony Bonazar.
Yep. There are a lot of things that I remember about this team. You know, Julio Franco, I remember getting in a fight with the manager here. I fought Pat Corrales in Oakland and created a bench clearing brawl. So, you know, I have memories of the Cleveland teams, but the stadium in particular, coming to Cleveland, I'll always remember the drama.
Dave, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and we'll cherish this experience at the 44th National Sports Collectors Convention for a long time to come.
This is one of the best. I can tell you that this experience was one that I'll remember for a long time. I was like a little kid standing in front of that Babe Ruth jersey. You can believe that.